I don't know. Alright, so to talk about the primary Warlock, I'm not sure if it's like actually good, but it's been a lot of fun. So keep that in mind. It like almost feels like a meme, but it actually works. I'm not sure if like my other titles are carrying the Warlock or if like my statues are carrying the Warlock, but it works. The like worst part of the primary Warlock is fighting against the dragon. The damage just feels like kind of low. Let's do the meme dream then. Primary lock. Alright, cool. So let's take a little look real quick. This is going to be NG+17. Need to update my title. So we're still talking about Pyramid of Prophecy NG30 run. Primary Warlock. Alright, there we go. So, this will be NG+17. So, Primary Warlock I build like my other primary classes. I'm just looking for Heartseeker and Lucky Hat, one or the other, and potentially some decent items. This seems decent enough. We get 2-piece Journeyman's outfit. Nothing amazing, but we'll just go with it. I don't think I have to be too strict on this character yet. So we got our Heartseeker. We're going to craft our Lucky Hat. I will show off our blessings. Symbol of Essence for Lifesteal. Path of Defender, so we take less damage. Divine Blast, so we do AoE around our character. And Blessing of Intellect, so we can ignore enemies' resist, because all of our damage is magic, because our character has no hybrid abilities like some of the other characters. We also use Callus, Kyra, and Ozreth. You can probably change around to Ozreth for Bolgarth, or probably one of those two actually. Those are probably the best two. Drinks, Phonetic Eruption, Incendiary Demise, Wicked Sickness. I go Overflowing Physique and Crazy Eye, which gives us our 40% crit. And let's also set up our fountain real quick. General Trap, Topple Towers, Safe Corridors, Plentiful Gifts. Primary builds, I go Increased Chance to Find Monoliths, Glass Walk, Treasure Hunt, Demolish Spawners, Lousy Consumables, Enemy Overseers, Minor Strike, Agile, Divine Springs, or Dry Springs. And yeah, that's it. So that's it for the primary Warlock, at least the setup. And this is NG+17. So let's get started. We can talk about like some pros and cons of this. So since our primary attack has been modified so much, like we have a bunch of attack power, we have a bunch of crit for primary and crit bonus. The soul consumption does a ton of damage, and in turn it gives us a ton of health and mana. So with all that mana we can cast these other skills, which don't do as much damage, but we always have mana to do them. So that's what's kind of nice about primary Warlock, is you just get your mana back constantly. So if like one thing dies, we get all our mana back. So I feel like I have the worst luck with keys. When I buy a bunch of keys, I find more in the dungeon and never any chest. Key rings amplify this bad luck. Yeah, so I used to buy 12 gold, 15 silver, 12 copper, but I ran out of keys on like 2 runs with 20 silver keys, and since then I've had to start with 20 silver keys. So it's just not worth like being stingy for 250 gold isn't worth like not having an item in one of your runs, right? Because you're essentially paying 250 gold for like an item. It sucks when you waste the keys, but sometimes you'll waste the items instead. Sometimes you get like really unlucky and lucky at the same time, where your bronze chests will all like, or the chests you find will all be silver chests instead of bronze. and then your gold chests will be silver chests instead of gold. And it'll just eat up all of your silver keys. I feel like I only ever run out of silver keys, which is why I'm making this example. But yeah, you'll run out and it feels bad when you buy 20 keys at the start and you run out of your 20 keys and you're picking up keys along the way and you can't loot 2 silver chests. That's happened recently. I'm like, I don't know if I should buy even more keys at this point or just like RNG happens, it's okay. Hey, we got an imp. Please give me gold this early. That would be amazing. Alright, there's our imp. Yeah, you can see like my my mana jumping around. If I ever get low and I like attack another target, I get so much mana. This means I can just cast stuff all the time. Which usually means I can just keep moving constantly. Cast a bunch of lightning bolts. Hold down left click, kill everything. I had a run yesterday, I bought 688 and had keyring into 25, 15, 17. 5 ace keys. Yeah, I mean, RNG is RNG. I assume that's with an attuned keyring, so you got a 100% chance. But there's a lot of factors there, like, you got keyring, I assume you just either had a lot of keys like this one just hanging out, or you killed a bunch of overseers and a lot of them dropped keys instead of nothing. I haven't attuned it yet. You just have really good RNG with rolling additional keys. Alright, have we picked up enough gold? Looks like it. Let's get luck, defender's halberd, and movement speed. Sometimes you'll be dancing around the enemies like that, and the only reason they're surviving is you're not actually hitting them with your melee. And it seems like you are, but you're not. Because they should really be taking like a ton of damage as long as you're hitting them. Yeah, I really enjoy Primary Warlock. It just doesn't feel as squishy as the Spellcaster version. So do you think the Primary Warlock suffers from AoE? I think its worst aspect is single target. Especially the dragon. Because some bosses you can, like, let's say this totem, this column is a boss. You can position your gargoyles around it like this, so they all connect and they deal like a ton of damage because they're all connecting through the boss. But against like dragon, you're fighting dragon like it's this wall, so you have to like drop totems like this, and it doesn't deal as much damage because not every arc is hitting them. So I think single target is the worst. Obviously the AoE is smaller than like the wizard. But he's kind of on par with other melee characters. You really have to get like up in the enemy's face. So I would say Dragon is probably one of the harder fights for him, just because of setup. You can't really get like a really good spot. And then the next thing is he doesn't really have like any innate defenses. So you have to kind of build defensively if you can. Like I have Blackjack and Defender's Halberd, which is really nice. So I can incapacitate some enemies. I have stuns with my Gargoyle, but other than that, I don't have any other defense. Where like if you're playing another primary character, Paladin, Gladiator, they have block. Thief has evasion. You see what I'm saying? Like the Warlock just doesn't have anything like that. He just has like life and like life steal, life leech. So It's kind of like playing the priest, but you don't have mana barrier. That's kind of what it feels like. But I can take Overflowing Physique to get the additional health, so it's like instead of 50% of the damage going to mana, you have 50% more health. So like, does it equal out? As long as you're stunning with like your main melee, you can get like pretty good defenses that way. Hot Helm is always a good item to pick up, especially if you're going luck. It might be equivalent to like 40 block in the end game. Evasion set, I usually still pick it up. So if I can get like some hybrid defenses, like I disarm and stun, if I can evade some attacks, if I can block some other attacks, then the Warlock will start feeling really tanky. But without any of that, he feels a little vulnerable. But I'm still not to the point where I'm like convinced it's not a meme build, so I haven't wanted to like make a guide on it quite yet. But it might be real. It's at least like something fun, so maybe I should just do something just because it's at least somewhat viable. I don't know how it is like NG2 and all of that with like no other class titles. Is Sork still considered best caster? I think people have gotten the highest NG on Sorcerer. So I guess by that logic, then yeah, he'd be the best. Luck, Markham's, yeah, we need some more money. Probably just gonna pick up the Steady Greaves, so we need 1.5. I'd definitely say, like, it depends what you're talking about. Like, what makes it the best to you? Because you're saying the best title bonus, it's between Warlock and Sorcerer, depending on what you need. But since Arena came out, Warlock is a little less needed, because you could just do Arena instead. The same can be compared to, like, the Wizard. So in that case, Sorcerer becomes the best. It's the highest in G, it's probably Sorcerer, but I don't know if people have really tried to push the other ones as high, just because the title bonuses aren't as like needed. Alright, so there's a little bit of evasion, that'll help. And there might be some room for the primary Warlock to be like a hybrid character. How do you set your screen to be that zoomed out? Alright, so in the configuration settings, the graphics, if you change your resolution, if you try to do like the max one, it's going to be really zoomed out, as you can see. There's like a sweet spot in here, even like 16 by 400, it's still like pretty zoomed out, right? But I've noticed that for me, if I pick one of these two, the 1366 or the 1360, I will get like max zoomed out. So that's how you do it. You adjust your resolution until you find the sweet spot. It's usually the 1300 ones. Alright, how's our memory doing? Scythe, 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 circle, circle. Scythe, circles, YZ. Scythes. Circles. X's. Oh, I don't remember if it was this one or this one. Oh, we did it wrong. Dang. Why do we just like choke at the end? Why do we always choke at the end? Yikes, that was bad. Oh well. If I don't get like 3, I feel like I'm doing really bad. But whatever, we don't need it. Nice, Wand of Spell Piercing. Actually like a 30% increase in damage, since all our damage is magical damage. That's what's so nice about like not having hybrid skills. But it also makes some of your other abilities, or some of the other items you find, completely worthless, like Stiletto. Just feels terrible. So unless you're getting physical damage from items, it doesn't really do anything for you. Which there are some items. Just magic damage is pretty prominent in the game. Spiked boots. Alright, we're getting all the bad items out, so we can start getting all the good items. Like Blood Dagger. Broadsword, right? It's pretty good. So I think there exists a world where you could have hybrid Warlock. Where your melee attack does enough damage to get mana all the time, but then you scale the damage of your skills. So you always get mana from primary, but you do like a ton of damage with your skills instead of your primary. Hey, we actually got a silver chest. We missed the silver chest on the lightning trap, and we missed the silver chest on the memory game. Yeah, bosses like that are great, because I can just do like all the totems. I don't know, something about primary Warlock is just nice. I think it might be part of it is my sorcerer isn't like super high, so using Elemental Bruiser on the spellcaster build, I feel like I'm just out of mana constantly. And this is kind of the opposite of that. I have mana always, and it feels really nice. And I get to like actually utilize the Gladiator set bonus. It's just, I worry about the defensive layers that the character has sometimes. But like the damage is like still pretty good. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is it a meme build? Is it a real build? We also now have our, oh, it's 3-piece. I thought we had 4-piece. Is it a meme build? Is it a real build? It's so hard to tell, because like my primary statues are better than my caster statues. Gladiator exists, which gives primary builds an extra little bit of guild titles that casters can't utilize. But I've definitely done the last 4 NGs as primary Warlock, and they've all been like pretty easy, but I feel like most NGs have been pretty easy lately. I think I've hit my groove with most of the items. There's the Blood Dagger. That's what we were looking for. That's what we were looking for. Build achieved. Act 3, we got our best in slot. Oh, we never restarted the client. Should we restart the client? I don't really want to because like I don't want to break gameplay, but disconnecting would hurt. Let's see what we got. Full plate mail. Yeah, I mean, that's equal to attack power, more attack power, and flat damage. Alright, we're gonna restart the client after this floor, just to make sure we're not crashing. With the new power level, who knows where classes are even starting to get capped at. Yeah, exactly. It's like, the game's not played a lot. Like, there's not like a huge community for the game, and most people push Paladin. followed by Sorcerer, it seems. There's not people pushing like Warlock into the 50s, which I'm pretty sure it's possible. People just aren't doing it. Yeah, I don't know. I think people just don't exist to do it. There's not enough people. I mean, Warlock was the first class I made. I think Warlock was my first class as well. But Warlock was a little different back then. They've reworked his primary. His primary used to be terrible. And he had some different skills. It was mostly the same, but just a little wonky. He had like a really short range dagger. And it like applied poison. And if you killed an enemy, it gave you like a flat amount of health and mana instead of like percentage. So as you went higher and higher in NGs, it got like worse and worse at sustaining. Alright, let's restart the client. I don't trust it. So we're at level 101. Endless potential. The one monolith I really just don't need. I have Ring of Tea. I have my soul consumption. Just can't win them all. Hey, serrated dagger. We have more crit now. Do we have the max crit? 42. No, we're missing Assassin's Dagger. Yo, Cuckoldus, what's up, dude? If only pushing Paladin wasn't so optimal. Yeah, that's like... I kinda don't like the Callus statue, because it just makes Paladin so good. When you get to the point where Callus is 20, you get the 1-to-1 ratio with AP. If you get it to 40, you get to 2-to-1. So it's like 1 NG of Paladin is worth 2 NGs of Ranger, plus you get the armor, which is just like insane. It's like, why be able to get attack power and skill power from Arena if you can just get armor and resist? And every character either runs, was it Callus or Cedric? So it's just never worth getting primary or skill power. Which then makes Ranger like, why are you playing Ranger? And it makes Wizard, why are you playing Wizard? And then with Arena existing, you can just do that instead of doing a Warlock run to get resist if you wanted. Granted, that's only for one character. And it would take you 10-ish minutes to do it. So if you want to do that for every character, it would take you 80 minutes, but I can do like a Warlock run in like 40. So Warlock's still worth it in that case, but if Warlock ever hits the wall, then it's going to be way more worth it to run the Arena. Currently, like, none of my characters have ran Arena. I'm waiting for them to change it. And I just don't need it. I don't feel like I'm taking too much damage. I don't need more damage. So yeah, I wish Paladin wasn't so optimal to run. It's my long-winded way of agreeing with you. I like this build, but no clue how to fill 20 more NGs though. Maybe some people will push Warlock for res now. Yeah, I mean, it's really, I think the only issue this build has is the defensive layers. Because it's like the priest, but not priest. But I've also done some primary warlock runs, or not warlock, wizard. Did primary wizard at like NG+12 or 13, and like it was fine as well. And it wasn't even like optimized. So you might just be able to go primary like anything you want, because a gladiator exists. Because you get so much crit bonus from your primary, you can just scale it. So it's like, it doesn't matter what class you're playing, if you're critting, if you're in combo, if you have leech, all of that, you can get away with like any class. Wow, 2 of those back to back. So like, this is kind of always a scary act for the warlock if you don't have the block. Because if you're in like the wrong spot when all the wisps explode, you're gonna get blown up. But that's just as true for the spellcaster version of the build. If you're running in with lightning storm and you kill a bunch of wisps on top of you, you're gonna get hit by like every projectile, and you're just gonna get destroyed unless you're like leeching off of another enemy. And before primary sorcerer, I had like a thought before that every build would end up primary just because gladiator exists, so you can get all this extra crit damage bonus that you can't get for skill crits, because there's only like a couple ways in the game to get it. You can get 100% from your blessings, you can get 100% from like a drink, but it like ruins your mana regen, and that's really it. So you can only get up to like 550%, whereas as you see up there, for a crit chance for primary, I'm already at 820% for my gladiator. So at some point you should be able to get like 2000 crit damage bonus, you know, and you should be starting to do more damage with your main hand than like your skills. That's true, like, except for like statues are a thing. So at any point that you start like falling behind on damage with statues, you could just upgrade Wilmer or Cedric and increase your damage some more. But I'd also argue that's like an opportunity cost, because that ore could have gone to Callus, which is used on like 7 of the 8 classes or something. I hate the goddamn buttons in this act. Yeah. Plus sorcerer primary damage increases after bounces. Oh, that's true as well. I just don't want to play a sorcerer like that. It just feels like so wasted. But maybe it'll be effective. So I don't know, it kind of feels weird like playing it as a primary character. This one kind of makes sense because his primary is like pretty much melee. So you're always going to be in melee anyway. So it's like, if you're in melee casting spells, why not just be in melee dealing melee damage and casting spells, but they're just weaker? I don't know. It's like I didn't like the primary wizard. It felt kind of weird on like boss fights, because you're not just like meteoring and instantly phasing the boss. You're like sitting there, attack, move, attack, move, attack, move, trying to not get hit, but shooting them with fireballs. And it felt like you still kind of needed the Phonetic Eruption leech off of your passive abilities, which you don't really get if you're going primary warlock, unless you're wasting a drink. But then you have to get like, you have to like spend a blessing on leech for your primary just so you have it, and you have to also spend a drink to get leech on your skills, which just feels weird to like use 2 different ways to solve leech. You should just be able to leech off of one or the other and be fine. I don't know, it wasn't like perfect enough, I guess. It felt kind of weird. Is that Assassin's Dagger? Alright, I thought it was Blood Dagger for a second. Whoa! You have to sleep now. I don't have to sleep yet. What are you talking about? You need to go to sleep. You're the one that never sleeps. This is my long stream day. After that, I'll sleep. Then bye. Alright, have a good night. You stay up every night. I don't believe you're going to sleep right now. After you say that. Man, I'm not gonna say jeopardize your health to watch my stream. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get me to beg you to stay here. If you want to go to sleep, you go. You go to sleep. You're going to sleep? Alright, dude. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, though. Saying hey. All that. Beg me? I'm not gonna do it. I see through your plan. Also, Z-Files. They didn't approve my emote yet. I submitted it, but it hasn't been approved. So, I had to break my promise. I said we'd have it for today. But they didn't approve it. At least not yet. What we got? What we want? I want to do more damage while I'm in combo for sure, because I'm always in combo. And I think I want Adventurer's Garb. Beast? Are there any beasts left? There's like Battlement's Beast. And that's really about it. Duke's Signet Ring could be okay versus like Dragon. Also gets a blue item out of the pool. Yeah, we'll just buy that. I don't think it mattered there. Because it's weekend. I submitted it last night. So they had all day today to approve it. And they're based out of California, so they're in the same time zone as me. They had 24 hours. They didn't do anything. I guess they really had like 12 hours. Because they're probably not working like late nights. It takes them 3 days, you know? The other ones I've done were done like within hours. They ain't doing shit on Friday. That's probably right. They probably just have Twitch parties every Friday. Making fun of streamers that want their emotes. But I totally agree with that. So, maybe it'll be done on Monday. I don't know if they work weekends. Probably just playing Fortnite. Oh god. It hurts. Say it's not so. They like check my profile. Like, alright, this guy submitted an emote. Let's check out his profile. Oh, he doesn't play Fortnite. Alright, this is not a priority. Send my gold to town. Why, dude? Not sending my gold to town. Because I might have shop on the second floor of Act 5. I'll definitely need that money. But yeah, Z-Files, how was your stream, dude? Love that one to specify when you have shop last 2 floors. Half sleeping. Oh, we got our beast pamphlet that we were talking about. Also being a primary build is better because you can pick up that item and not feel bad that your damage just went down. It's the real reason to play primary Warlock. You're unaffected by the Arcane Ring. My friend was drunk and I was drinking, but I had fun. Hey, as long as you're having fun. That's what it's all about. Is there anything else we need in here? We have our XP monolith, so I want to make sure we get to use it like as much as possible to get our levels. We're 102, almost 103. Well, we might level in the ritual phases. Anything interesting up here? Oh yeah, another portal, some ore, but it's on the wrong side. Oh well. We don't need that ore. Unless we're going to be running by it anyway. But it doesn't look like we are. Yep, another button. Button leads to more ore, I think. Alright. We should be able to tank the boss. So far we've been able to. Just do our little gargoyle statues in a circle. Perfect. I don't remember how bad the Vampire Lord was. And this is one strategy I'm not sure if we should be fighting like this or if we should be fighting in the corner. I'll try the corner on the Crimson phase, or maybe on the next phase, and see if it's better. Because I feel like this we're kind of like susceptible to getting charged at the same time and potentially dying. But maybe if we hang out in the U shape, then they won't even have the opportunity to do that. But if you're really having like issues with this, you could always attune the eyeballs and it wouldn't, it'd be pretty easy. So it's like there's systems in the game to make this build work without like really changing anything. So where's my U shape at? Oh yeah, this one has a really bad one. So we'll try to do it over here. I haven't found like a spot I really enjoy fighting for this layout. Because everything changes, because you want like a nice U shape, like over here maybe. Alright, so Crimson will do the U strategy. See if it's better. So we have this U shape up here that has this wall blocked here, so the big eyeball won't stand over here and just shoot us with confusion lasers. We'll be able to like stand up here and just fight everything while it comes to us. It's like a really good spot for the Sorcerer and the Wizard. I'm not certain it's the best for the Warlock quite yet. XD. Why are we XDing? Nice, that was easy. In bed listening to me? I'll put you to sleep, dude. Where's the best spot? I guess we're just gonna do the U shape again. Maybe we'll try like further down. Or maybe we can do damage like while they're coming around the corner. We do like a wall of gargoyles. I don't know, I'm not convinced that this is the best way to do Warlock. Feels like I'm still like pretty vulnerable to all of them charging in at me at the same time. But that's the case for all Warlocks, it's not just the primary. Nice, we got our level. We're at 104. One level to go. Is that our first way to poison? So we have blowgun. And anything else? That's like our first way to poison. So we haven't really been utilizing Ozreth too much, besides just killing enemies that are close to Ozreth. Or sorry, close to other enemies that just died. I think that made sense. Oh no, we got the lines. I don't want the lines. Alright, let's see if we can fix these lines real quick. I think it just happens because we changed our resolution. So let's change to 1360. See if we got rid of the lines. Yay, the lines are gone. It looks nice and clean now. Protective powers. I hate those lines, dude. They're so distracting. At least I finally figured out what causes them, so I can fix it. Alright, we got protective powers, so we should be able to just kind of rush in and kill like everything. I need like a good corner to fight in if I want to like stand and fight. I'm afraid to just fight in the open. I don't think it's a smart idea. But I'm gonna get plenty of XP just by running and gunning. I'll try to kill like the overseers, but it's not like a huge priority. Just want to make sure I'm hitting the outskirts to get imps and finding all the secrets. And make sure we get our level and pick up enough gold. A couple of things we're trying to do. See, this is like a good corner. Alright, we got our level. Step 1 complete. Gold and secrets and killing some overseers. Hey, coated arrow. Now we'll definitely poison everything. Between the luck and the other poison item we have, that should be like 100% poison chance. Crit on skills. Going to sleep with the sensual sound of weeks. My nice monotone. Put everybody to sleep. What we got up there? Elevator? I think we picked up enough money. Grab some more diamonds just in case. No imps on that floor. Feels bad, man. I feel like you always have an imp in Act 5. If you have a frequent imps on. I feel like every single time you get one somewhere. Let's see if that's true. For that to be true, we have to get an imp on this floor. But I'm almost certain it's like every single time. It's like a really high chance. No, we don't have an ace key. We didn't even look at. We took all that damage for nothing. Didn't matter at all. We also still have protective powers. F. We just don't have an ace key. We have a key ring, I think. Yeah, we have key ring. So we can try to go out of our way to pick up keys and maybe we'll get an ace key, but we'll probably be on like the other half of the map by then and we won't really care. Won't care to come back and get like some item that we don't really need. Probably would rather save the time at that point. Just start working on another run instead. Alright, so we didn't have an imp in the first section of the game. Or the floor. Maybe the imp will give you keys. Oh god. Don't curse me with that. Apothecary item. First of all, there needs to be an imp, so... Hey, there's just an ace key hanging out. Just an ace key hanging out. We found our ace key, dude. Alright, what do they have to offer? Popcorn ring? Old map? I like old map. We'll get the popcorn ring. Pop some popcorn. Zoro, what's up, dude? Do we want to go back for the legendary? Could be useful. Hey, what did we say? There's an imp. Alright, let's see. Is it keys? Oh, it's gold! How much gold? 1 mil. Alright, that's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Sphere of power. How many spheres are we up to? We're up to 5. You've been lurking for a bit? Oh, that's cool, dude. Alright, taking bets. What legendary are we getting? Medusa? Oh man. Alright, what am I gonna say? I'll say, what's the other one? Crown of Bewilderment. That one. Oh, Sphere of Champions! Nice. Up to 6 spheres. Not technically a legendary. Never lucky. Can't even get a legendary. This is a trick question. Pog. Yeah, now that I have 1,000,000 gold, I'm going out of my way to pick up more gold. Oh, we have another key. Alright, we have another one. And we got another key somehow. I don't remember getting another key. Alright, round 2. What are we getting? I'm gonna go ahead and say the legendary sphere. We're gonna go big. We're gonna hope that we get the 10 spheres. We'll go ahead and get this one first. Fancy plume. Another fancy plume right after the vendor. Feels yikes. Alright. Phoenix feather. Wow, we never get legendaries. Keyring gave me another ace key. Yeah, I guess I just didn't see when it happened. We have another key. Alright, that one gave me a silver key. I noticed that one. So we have increased damage and less damage taken. Let's rock. That damn. Crown of Kings. That brings us to 2-piece kings. Let's go. 3-piece kings. Also Scarab. Yeah, Scarab's pretty decent. Since we're primary, we're actually using Incendiary Demise, so it procs all the time. We just don't have a skill leech, so it doesn't give us any like health. But it's just like free damage. Apothecary Flask. Dude, alright, we just got the 4th piece Apothecary. It's like the easiest set to complete. Oh, I missed an ore. Alright, we're going back for it. $683 ores. Oh, we have another ace key. Alright. Getting the ace key hookup. We're actually gonna have 3 ace keys with 3 ace chests. This is like a miracle. What the Craddock with the follow? Oh, I stepped off the bridge. Dude, appreciate the follow. Also haven't seen you before, so welcome to the stream. So I can't tell. Is primary warlock good, or we're just getting lucky with items? Ace chest. This will be our 4th run with primary warlock, and it's kind of been the same every single time. I don't know, seems viable. Thanks, and you're welcome. Oh, dropped an ore. Sweet. I'm trying to get back into the game. Never got very far last time I played. Well, if you need some build guides, we have that. We have, if you do exclamation point commands, you can see all the commands. We set that up yesterday. But each class has its own command with like the setups that we use. We also have a Steam guide. If you want to see that, do exclamation point guide. Yeah, a lot of information we put out there to help out people. And yeah, if you have any questions about anything or comments or whatever, then let me know. I think I only got to the 2nd boss, not sure if I even beat the 3rd. With the caster build, you can kill this fast. I'll have to do another caster run, but I think it's pretty equal. There might be more like mana issues. So I think this Warlock does like 45-minute runs. I'm not really sure how long the Spellcaster one takes, but there's some like there's some factors that like I don't know how to solve. Like I basically put most of my ore into the primary statues, so my skill statues aren't as powerful. So that's like part of it. Maybe we should do a skill version after to compare. What do you guys think of that? You guys want to watch another Warlock? You could definitely use the levels. I mean, I get resist and whatnot. It'd be really weird if primary is better than skills. Wow. Pickaxe after I've picked up all of the ore. I'm down? Sure. Alright. We can do that next. Yeah, but Craddock, it takes a while to kind of progress through the game the first time. After that, it gets faster and faster. The more title bonuses you get, the more you upgrade your town and statues and drinks and started tuning items. There's like a lot of ways to get some power. Just in the beginning of the game, you don't have any power, so it takes a little while. But if you enjoyed it before, I'm sure you'll continue to enjoy it. The game's only gotten better, I think. Oh, we didn't get an imp. Rip gold. Medusas. Alright, we got a legendary, and it was Medusas. Who said that? Hungu. Hungu said Medusa. You were right. First legendary, Medusa's crown. Or Medusa's charm. Oh, I stepped in that. Oh, almost got double slammed. Yikes, don't get double slammed. Alright, let's see. We did 172 damage dealt. 37 million was physical, 136 was magical, and the run took 47 minutes. Yeah, at the beginning of the Warlock skills really suck his mana dry. Really help on the dragon. We got some more points. We should be able to tune everything else we want. Seal of Rage, no. Popcorn Ring. Apothecary items, Blood Dagger. Seal of the Martyr, Sphere of Warriors, Spike Boots, Apothecary, Cape. I think we've done it. I think we've gotten everything we care about. Yep, we are done with the anvil. I don't think I have the magic anvil yet. Yeah, you can't find it until Act 3, and it's not super common on NG0. So as you complete the game for the first time, the chances will be increasing more and more. So I think by NG2, it's pretty much guaranteed. But anyway, that is our Warlock NG plus 18, or plus 17 as a primary build. We're gonna play a secondary, or a skill build, and see how